This is our last program coming into the end of our season. So our big priorities here are going to be getting a little bit more back to the classic lifts after we spent a lot of time over the last 18 weeks working our way back to the floor through the hang and the low hang variations. Cycle, what we're going to start with for our warm-up is day 1. Warm-up's going to be snatch press plus overhead squat, 10 of each. This is going to be done either as a wobble variation, or it can be done just with a straight barbell. That's pretty dependent on your mobility and skills. Your second exercise is going to be a hamstring curl. My preference would be that you're doing this on a seated or a prone machine, so laying down on your stomach. The big thing that we want to see when we're doing this hamstring curl is that we maintain a good neutral spine position. Check out Brandon Schulte, he did a really great review on this. But what we don't want to see is that you're trying to extend through your lower back as you do that hamstring curl. For the final portion of this warm-up, it's going to be a straight arm pull down. You're going to have a slight hinge. What you're going to do is pull with a straight arm all the way to your pelvis. This is going to be key that you keep your shoulders back and tight, and that you keep a nice straight position from your head to your low back. You might find that you're going to be trying to extend or trying to pull with the arms. Try to initiate this movement directly from the lats. The hamstring curl and the straight arm pull downs are going to be 25 reps each. This is going to start with 2 rounds for your first week, and it's going to go up to 4 rounds by your final week. Then we move into your mobility for the day. This is going to be an adductor-based mobility. We're going to start with an adductor smash. You're going to grab a roller of some sort, preferably something harder. You're big, strong boys and girls, so let's get something tough. It's going to be 90 seconds per side, nice and controlled, taking your time and breathing through the movement. Once you've completed that, you're going to move on to your super frog. This is going to be, you're going to set up a band up around a rack, get your leg through it, lay down into what would be almost like a frog or a lotus position. Use a plate to hold your leg down and ensure that you maintain a good butt squeeze through this whole movement. That way we ensure you maintain a good neutral spine movement throughout the whole thing. Now we're going to move on to our snatch portion of the day. For our warm-up today, this is where it's going to get interesting for a lot of you. It's going to be a no hook, no contact muscle snatch. So when we say no hook, which our exercises are going to be tied to for this cycle, no hook means no hook grip. That also means no straps. So for a no hook, no contact muscle snatch, I want you to be pulling all the way through, extending all the way fully with your legs without making contact, and pulling all the way through that movement. Then it's going to be a no hook, no foot power snatch. This is going to require you to really extend thoughtfully and aggressively, pulling all the way through with the arms and meeting the bar accurately. Then we'll move to a no hook, no foot snatch. On both of these movements, your feet should not be moving. I'd prefer with the bar that we maintain heels on the ground, but that might be difficult to do as you learn the movement. 3 plus 3 plus 3 for a total of 9 reps for 2 sets. Add a little bit of weight, 2 plus 2 plus 2 for those last 2 sets. For our snatch work for the day, because this is going to be our lighter day of the week, it's going to be a no hook, no foot snatch. So same thing, you're going to start from the same position on the floor that you normally would for a normal snatch. You're going to not use a hook grip, and you're not going to be using straps. As you pull through and extend on these no foot variations, we want to start with our feet in our squatting position, because if we start too narrow, it's going to be really difficult to achieve the depth that we would expect to for stability. This is going to start with a set of 4 at 60% in our first week and progress to 85% for a single, depending on how you progress. Once we've completed our snatches for the day, we're going to move on to a pause snatch pull for our strength exercise for the day. This is going to range anywhere from 90 to 130% of our best snatch. The key with this is that I want you to pull to a pause position above the knee. This may change depending on feedback from myself or feedback in the program, whether we pause below the knee or above the knee, depending on what your problems are. I want us to be coming to a complete stop. This isn't a California stop sign, it's not a yield, complete stop. Ensure that you're not shifting in your position when you come to that full stop, and full extension through that movement. That's going to be paired directly with a broad jump. I want you to be doing your snatch pulls and going straight to your broad jumps. Something we saw last cycle is people were forgetting to do this. This is a superset. We want you to do your pulls, go to your broad jumps. For the broad jump, it's going to be 3 to 5 consecutive repetitions. I want you to be changing direction as fast as possible once you hit the ground. Full extension and trying to get as far as you can. Mark the total distance for the total number of jumps. For our accessories for the day, we're going to have a snatch grip RDL. The key here is when we move to a snatch grip, this is going to increase our range of motion, but it's also going to require a lot more stability. The big thing that we want to see is that you maintain good posture throughout the movement with a head in a neutral position. We don't want to see that you're throwing your head back as you're doing that movement. We want to see that you maintain a good line from your head to your pelvis all the way through, driving your hips back. Don't keep your knees fully locked out. Try and ensure that your knees have a little small bend in them. You get a nice big stretch to the hamstring. This is going to be paired with a reverse hyper. So we're getting a lot of posterior chain work done here. Your back might feel a little cooked by the end of this. So take your time to look after yourself as you move through this program.